there is a general issue in the power sector, and I believe that is why the federal government is giving more attention to it. It's not just a problem of discourse. In the entire value chain, there are issues with it. And the only problem is that distribution is the last part of the chain. Those are the ones that deal with me and you on a daily basis, and that is why it seems as if the problem is basically that of discourse. Otherwise, if we look at the issues in generation, we have installed capacity of about 12,000 megawatts, but we're unable to generate all of that because of some issues of wheeling power, that is the capacity of transmission to we 12,000. That is also a problem. We now have issues of transmission themselves. The expansion, have they have enough capacity to we what is generated by the generators? No, they don't have that. So then you come to discourse. Discourse is like I say, is the last in the chain, and is the worst because discourse were privatized. The privatization that took place in the discourse is different from the one that took place in the generators, because with the generators they were privatized 100%. In the discourse, government retained 40%, while the private sector, those investors, has 60%. Now, is government putting in enough money commensurate with their 40%? Of course, no. But what government has done, realizing that the discourse were not performing optimally, decided to be doing some intervention. You've heard the president release 701 billion, 600 billion, 300 billion here and there. These are all interventions that the federal government have introduced in order to raise the performance of the discourse. But there are very fundamental problems. Problems of infrastructure. The infrastructure in the discourse. Is that infrastructure strong enough to take power, even if transmission is able to weigh even up to 8,000 megawatts of power? Of course, they will not be able to. So what did happen was that the federal government, in privatizing this company, didn't do enough base study enough for them to be put in a situation that would give them that capacity to be able to function optimally. And so that is why you have this problem. There's a problem in the entire value chain of the power sector. And I'm happy that the president is serious about addressing that. And that is why what we are doing here is to give him that strong support. Let us bring out those issues that are inhibiting Nigerians from getting power 24 hours, 7 days in a week. Let us put them on the table. That is what we are doing. Those issues are coming out. Now, there is a better appreciation of what the issues are in the power sector. And once there is a better appreciation, we'll be able to now address them. You know, for you to, for any doctor to heal a sickness, they first must diagnose what is wrong with the patient. Once you know that you have fever, what is causing the fever is because you have a wound on your feet. They will address that wound. So now the issues in the power sector, as I've mentioned, are now put on the table. Every person now knows the problem with the generators, the problem with transmission, the problem with distribution. And that is why there is this agreement with Siemens to expand the capacity, both in distribution and in transmission. And I believe that down the road, once those issues are addressed, well, Nigerians will begin to enjoy power 24 hours in 7 days.
Yesterday, sir, your committee queries the federal government over some certain amounts being paid to the or being paid to, yeah. Does he have any?
No, you know, the Minister of Power put about 600 million to intervene in issues that ordinarily would have been done by the distribution company, because these are private companies. And so we raised some issues on that. And the minister is supposed to get back to us for us to address it. These companies are in private hands because 60% of them are owned by private investors and are managing them. Government is just a shareholder in them, but the management of this company is in the hands of the people who have higher equity, which is 60%. And so government cannot continue to use government money and deploy that money in private companies. It's not sustainable. There's so much money that government has put in order to subsidize what is happening in the power sector. That is not sustainable. And so we must and have to find a way that this can be sustained independent of government spending on the power sector. That is all that we're doing here.
Even with the help from government, they can't still pay.
Yeah, because in the first place, privatization was a bit dysfunctional. A lot of things needed to have been done in the first place before the privatization. But there was this rush to privatize these companies. And so, like I said, there was no base study or no due diligence that was done that would determine the issues that are coming up now. If that base study was done, all these issues would have been incorporated in the privatization. So the people who bought these companies wouldn't be raising this issue any longer. So there seems to be what lawyers will call mutual non-performance on the part of the parties involved in this. And so we are trying to sit at a round table and agree that this is the way forward. And I think that we will do that. We're determined to do it. The National Assembly, the 9 National Assembly is determined. The Senate President particularly is very much interested in making sure that the power sector issues are addressed. And so as a committee saddled with that responsibility, I'm determined that that will happen. That is why you see me bringing all of them to the table. We'll be meeting with the generators very soon and other stakeholders who are involved who are not necessarily visible. We're involving everybody so that we can address the power sector problem once and for all.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.